From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 10:30.
We ran, and we ran, and I still wasn't even sure if it was actually bullets until one of the times we paused, our friend was like, the guy next to us got shot.
Right now at 10:30, we are tracking the latest on the mass shooting at the country music concert in Las Vegas, Nevada. You could hear it in the background there. Many concert goers said they first thought it was fireworks. At least 59 people are dead tonight. Local hospitals treating the more than 500 people injured.
We brought in extra trauma surgeons, extra critical care nurses, extra even EVS folks to make sure that we were keeping the trauma center clean to be able to move our patients through quickly.
Many concert goers turned into first responders, helping the wounded get to nearby hospitals. And as hospitals in Las Vegas continue to treat the hundreds of victims, we wanted to know if hospitals here in the Valley are ready if a similar event were to happen here. Channel 5's Stephen Salvia spoke with administrators at McAllen Medical Center about the procedures they take. Stephen?
That's right. McAllen Medical Center tells us they go through specific training in order to make sure they are able to handle large-scale disasters.
It's always a constant learning. Everything's different. You never know what to expect in a disaster.
McAllen Medical Center CEO Todd Mann says every year they have what's called mass casualty drills with hospitals across the valley.
We're the recipients of these patients, so it's a coordinated effort with first responders, EMS, fire, and the police. So if an event were to happen, we're all in coordination with one another.
Mann says in these drills they plan on which hospital or medical center victims are sent to based on their potential injuries. The reason for this is to prevent one location from getting overcrowded. One thing Mann says is a necessity during a crisis like in Las Vegas is blood.
We would definitely exhaust the efforts of the blood bank here in something of this magnitude. But as you see, as the Vegas responders, we would definitely set up areas where people could come in, donate.
Mann says they are equipped to open these donation sites at a moment's notice.
Mann says right now they have sister hospitals in Las Vegas helping victims. He says they plan to learn from their experience in the future. Live in the Channel 5 News studio, Stephen Sarabia, Channel 5 News at 10:30.
A local doctor says victims of the Las Vegas shooting might develop PTSD. Tropical Texas behavioral health psychiatrist and chief medical officer Daniel Gutierrez is urging those impacted to seek help. He says victims could feel lasting psychological impacts, including physical symptoms of anxiety, fear, and hyper alertness.
Feelings of reliving it, and the thoughts intruding in your mind and can't stop thinking about it, and you see it like a picture or like a movie that is there, and it creates those same kind of feelings.
Symptoms of PTSD include intrusive recollections or flashbacks and nightmares, extreme changes in mood or thinking, avoiding interaction with others, and high levels of aggression. Well, the shooting in Las Vegas is a reminder to local law enforcement what can happen there can happen anywhere. Channel 5's Valerie Gonzalez spoke with the local police chief about the ways they prepare for the unpredictable.
San Juan Police Chief Juan Gonzalez says because of its unpredictable nature, it's difficult to prepare for an active shooter situation. That doesn't keep them from training.
Get down. Get down.
This black screen with disorienting flashes and voices in distress is a glimpse. Innocent people were caught by surprise, gunfire falling from the sky. This can happen anywhere.
These incidents can happen in the Rio Grande Valley.
San Juan Police Chief Juan Gonzalez says the Law Enforcement Emergency Regional Response Team prepares for the worst. Just recently, they attended a SWAT conference studying shootings like the one in Las Vegas. Officers learn lessons from each event. They're not the only ones paying attention, says Chief Gonzalez. Active shooters also learn from each other. He compares Las Vegas to the shooting in Dallas.
Exactly what happened in Dallas. Many felt that active shooter was in a high-rise building because of he was masquerading the sound of gunfire, in the large buildings that were there. And that's exactly what happened here.
concerts with large crowds can and do become targets. They've been training in a place that hosts large crowds often here, South Padre Island.
To make sure that concert goers, event organizers, people attending large-scale events, which happens a lot in that area, for us to make sure that we're prepared. So we are training our snipers to make sure that we provide that overwatch security for.
A multi-agency team has been training twice a month for the past 6 months. Chief Gonzalez says they also work with state and federal agencies in emergencies. They hope this cooperation will make them ready should they ever be called. The San Juan Police Department is also submitting a request for 50 rifle-resistant body armor. It's part of a grant that was created as a response to the Dallas shooting last year. In the studio, Valerie Gonzalez, Channel 5 News at 10:30.
A Harlingen gun store owner says after watching the video of the Las Vegas shooting, he believes the shooter had a quick trigger or machine gun. Brian Guetta explained the background checks involving a weapons purchase in Texas.
Buying a standard handgun or semi-automatic rifle or hunting rifle is a fairly simple process. You fill out a background check. That background check gets called into the FBI, and then the FBI will tell us as dealers whether or not the person can legally purchase a firearm.
And about those weapons, Guetta says it is legal to buy but illegal to convert those weapons. Police in Las Vegas say the suspect had 23 guns in his hotel room, including at least one fully automatic machine gun. Some high-powered rifles also capable of slicing through police body armor were found.
This is a classic WMD. This is a weapon and a man of mass destruction.
In the first 90 seconds of the massacre, nearly 200 rounds could be heard. Hundreds more were fired within minutes. The suspect, Stephen Paddock, was retired and living in Las Vegas. Authorities say he took his own life.
I don't know how it could have been prevented if we didn't have any prior knowledge to this individual. It wasn't evident that he had weapons in his room. We have determined that there has been employees going to and fro from his room, and nothing nefarious was noticed.
ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack, but the FBI says right now there is no connection between the suspect and international terrorism. When the sheriff was asked about a motive, he responded he could not, quote, get into the mind of a psychopath at this point, end quote. Tim?
Across the valley tonight, things have dried out. There was some rain earlier, but it has since moved away, and the rest of the night should be pretty quiet. Overnight, our low should be around 74 degrees, but long toward dawn, especially near the coast, there could be a shower, perhaps even a thunder shower, and then during the daytime tomorrow, that chance of rain goes way up. We'll take a look at that coming up in just a few minutes. Now let's move over to traffic and see what's going on the traffic map tonight. Things look pretty green across the area. Looks like we've got everything on I-69E into and out of Brownsville, no problem. 281 looks good, 448 both look good. We'll head to the coast as well, see how things are out there tonight. Quiet Monday night, a little bit of slowdown through Port Isabel, but that's about it for the most part. Highway 100 is in good shape tonight, as is Park Road 100 on the island itself. Here's a look at your travel times. Brownsville to Harlingen should take about 24 minutes. Brownsville to Port Isabel right at 31 minutes tonight. We'll keep an eye on that traffic for you. Have an update to your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Still ahead, a suspect accused in Sunday's homicide in rural Penitas is behind bars. What's the new developments in the case? Next, we'll be right back.
Breaking news, breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Oscar Adame, Dina Herrera Garza. First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. And sports with Joel Villanueva. This is Channel 5 News at 10:30.
Tomorrow, a suspect in a homicide investigation is expected to be formally charged. The victim, 30-year-old Adelaide Thayes Johnson, was found dead in a home on the 3900 block of Brittany Street in rural Penitas. The arraignment is scheduled for Tuesday morning at 10:30. The Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office is asking anyone with information on the case to contact Hidalgo County Crime Stoppers at 668-TIPS. Right now, McAllen police say they are looking for the driver accused in a hit and run. The police department released this image of the suspect. Officers say she hit a motorcycle Sunday around 3 a.m. on the 100 block of East Expressway 83. The motorcyclist was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators said the vehicle appears to be a dark Buick Regal with visible front end damage. Anyone with information should contact McAllen Crime Stoppers at 687-8477.
Coming up in sports, the Houston Astros bound for the ALDS, and they finished the regular season with over 100 victories. We'll talk about that. Plus, the Houston Texans loving their new rookie quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He is getting better so far every week. That's next on Channel 5 News at 10:30.
And now sports with Joel Villanueva.
It is Monday Night Football, a tight game at Arrowhead tonight. Redskins and Chiefs going back and forth. First quarter, Kirky Cousins finding Terrell Pryor. 7-0 Redskins. The Chiefs would have an answer. Alex Smith finding Travis Kelce. In the end, it came down to a kicker. Harrison Butker makes his NFL debut with a game-winning 43-yard field goal. Your final score after the Chiefs defense gets a touchdown, the Chiefs 30, the Redskins 20. Well, back in Texas, it was a nice confidence boost for the Houston Texans. That's thanks in part to a big game from their rookie quarterback, Deshaun Watson. His playmaking ability helping the team spark a 57-14 win over the Titans yesterday. Watson was 25 of 34 for 283 yards. He threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for another. The last rookie QB to do that was Fran Tarkenton back in 1961. The Texans defense also doing their part with 5 takeaways of most of the game since 2008. But the defense was the sub-headline. The headline is Watson looks for real.
Our really idea is try to get positive yards on every play. Try to get the ball in the playmaker's hands. And everyone that's out there on the field that touches the ball has a chance to make a play. So, you know, Coach O.B. does a great job of play calling and you know, making sure that we do the right thing.
Watson and the Texans now 2-2. They are hosting the Chiefs Sunday night. The Texans might be wearing some Astros caps this week. Houston's baseball team wrapped up their regular season with their 101st win yesterday. And now we bring on the ALDS. Astros and Red Sox facing off with Game 1 Thursday in Houston. Game 2 Friday in Houston. Games 3 and 4 in Boston Sunday and next Monday. And should there be a Game 5, that would be next Wednesday. Back in Houston today, Astros manager A.J. Hinch talking about his team's great play this season.
It takes a full season to get there, and it was an incredible regular season for us. Obviously, we switch gears to the postseason now, but you know, even with the low we had in August, to come out of it with 101 wins, a division championship for the city of Houston and our fan base, it was a great run in the regular season.
All right, bring on some postseason baseball. That's a look at sports. Tim, how does tomorrow shape up for us?
Looks like kind of a wet day across the valley. Not a whole lot of sunshine, scattered showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two. Cooler than today by about 3 degrees. About a 60% chance of rain tomorrow. Maybe another shot on Wednesday. We'll check that forecast when we come back.
Nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Maria slammed into Puerto Rico, help is on the ground, but officials say much more is needed. Many Puerto Ricans are still struggling without power and clean water. Fuel trucks are guarded as they make their way to their destinations. FEMA is there. One problem they face in the recovery efforts is figuring how to unclog some drains that are not allowing flooded areas to drain.
We're doing disaster survivor assistance right now. That's like the main mission. That's like boots on the ground running.
President Trump is traveling to Puerto Rico tomorrow. Now for a look at our forecast, let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Tim Smith. The rain clouds around today. What's the forecast for the next few days, Tim?
It's looking good if you want rain, and most of us need some. So for the most part, it looks like a pretty good shot at rain. Probably tomorrow, on Wednesday, even a little bit of leftover stuff on Thursday. It's not out there now. Things are very quiet. The Doppler network, which was a little busy earlier today, has gone quiet. Here's where rain fell today, according to the Doppler radar. And this is the last 12 hours. And you can see if we go in a little bit tighter, the Mid-Valley saw some rain, a little bit around McAllen, Harlingen, up toward Sebastian and Life Medford, but not much. Very spotty activity. Here at our studios, we picked up just over 1/3 of an inch, 0.36. So that's our total for October so far. 1853 for the year. We're catching up. The big rain last week really got us close. We're about 1.25 inches behind for the year, and we could make that up the next couple of days. Let's look at why. Future Track brings scattered showers in perhaps as early as tomorrow morning in the coastal counties, and then it spreads inland during the course of the rest of the day. So don't be surprised if you see rain as early as tomorrow morning in many locations, and by tomorrow afternoon, probably in most locations. This is tomorrow night, and the models still keep rain around even into the evening hours. Spotty stuff overnight, and then during the daytime on Wednesday, scattered showers and storms again. So Wednesday looks like an active day as well. How much rain are we looking at? Well, here's your timeline right here. And notice by the time we get to Thursday, pretty much widespread 1 to 2, maybe even 3 inches in a few places across the area. Again, don't pick out a particular area and say that's how much is going to happen there. Got to look at the trend, and the trend is, again, 1 to 3 inches between now and Thursday. Best chance really comes both tomorrow and Wednesday, 60 to 70%. Then we drop it off to 30 on Thursday and 20 on Friday. By the weekend, that moisture should be out of here. Temperature-wise, we're going to be right around the norm. Normal's 89, and we'll be within a couple degrees of that all the way through the forecast period. Here's our watershed, and our watershed is quiet tonight. There have been a few showers out in West Texas, but if you'll recall, late last week, we were talking about the big rain right up in here, right up in the middle of the watershed, making the Rio Grande run high through Laredo, and eventually that water made it into Falcon Lake. And look where we stand tonight at 277.51 feet above sea level. 301.2 is full. That's the elevation of the water above sea level. So we're getting closer. That's a big jump from just 7 days ago when we were about 263.5. 56% full. It was 41% a week ago. If you're traveling tomorrow, take a look at what's going to happen around Texas. By about 11 a.m., most of the temperatures are in 70s and 80s. Most of the state tops out in the 80s tomorrow afternoon. So for us tonight, partly cloudy. That evening shower is gone, but perhaps before dawn there could be something near the coast. And then tomorrow, partly sunny with scattered storms. Chance of rain tomorrow stands at 60%. So we go 88, 90, 90. Chance of rain starts to taper off by Friday, and by the weekend I think it's gone. Rain chances go away, and we stand still at a high of about 90 each day. Long-range models do hint at maybe a pattern change by the middle of next week, indicating maybe a turn down in temperatures. That'd be a front. That's your updated First 1-5 forecast.
Well, former Equifax CEO Richard Smith says he is deeply sorry for the company's massive security breach. A few weeks ago, the company announced the personal information of as many as 143 million Americans was compromised, that number increasing to a little over 145 million today. Names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, and in some cases, driver's license numbers and credit card information were all stolen. Smith says a hack happened because of human error and technology failures. Tomorrow, Smith is to testify before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. We'll be right back. Valley series on veterans continues tomorrow on Channel 5 News at 6 and 10. Over the past week, we have brought you reports on veterans issues, including PTSD and resources for veterans who need help in finding jobs or getting health care. If you missed any of our reports, head over to our website, krtv.com, and click on the Heart of the Valley link. Jimmy Kimmel is coming up here shortly. Tonight's guests, actor Anthony Anderson, former baseball player Alex Rodriguez, and music from Luke Combs. That is coming up after our newscast. And we thank you for joining us tonight. Be safe and good night.
Closed captioning brought to you by Channel 5 and Clark Chevrolet McAllen.